Hey guys, so I'm going to show you all of these cassettes, and then my music collection series will be done. I mean, obviously, I didn't technically show my entire collection because, I mean, it's constantly growing, and I got plenty of music that I got, during the filming of this series that, didn't get shown, but I've shown those in other videos, so one way or another, I've shown every physical piece of music that I have. So, all right, I don't have a whole lot of cassettes. I generally prefer CDs and vinyl, but cassettes are fun too. I don't mind them. They're Thomas is rubbing on the camera as usual, but they're cheap, they're fun, they're cool physical media. Sometimes I actually do end up preferring them. Some of these I have, multiple formats, and to my surprise, I find myself listening to the cassette more often than anything else. All right, so to start off with, we have the Chariots One Wing. So the story behind this is I would really like to get One Wing on vinyl, but it's really expensive on vinyl. I do have it on CD, of course. But yeah, this was just randomly advertised to me. I felt like it was kind of a decent consolidation or consolation prize. I always get my words mixed up. Consolation prize for the vinyl. So yeah, I got on cassette. And I do think I prefer this cassette to the CD. So, cassette packaging is generally pretty simple, but I still rather like these little paper inserts that they have in them. They're cool. Alright, next up, another album that I have on multiple formats, and I find myself listening to this cassette more than the vinyl, but we have Guardians of the Galaxy Awesome Mix Volume 2. So for film soundtracks, Thomas, come on. I pretty consistently actually find myself liking the cassette. I mean, I like how, it feels like it's like a handmade mixtape type thing instead of, just a copy and paste album. But yeah, I mean, it's really fun on cassette. I love the labeling on this too. So of the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtracks, I must admit Volume 2 is probably my least favorite. I don't know, it just doesn't have as much songs that stand out to me, but it does have songs like, Mr. Blue Sky, Fox on the Run, The Chain, let's see, Surrender is a pretty nice banger, Flashlight, Parliament. Guardians Inferno, that's the only original song on it, but it's a pretty fun song, so yeah. My favorite has to be Volume 3, because that has 90s and 2000s music, which is more my jam, but they all got bangers on them, so. And I love Guardians of the Galaxy, so yeah, I got them all, so. Next up, we got Homeless Gospel Choir, Luxury Problems. So I think Derek Zanetti, the man behind this band, is kind of cassette collector. I've seen him post a lot of pictures of his collection, so, I kind of like to kind of celebrate that side of him by getting a lot of his albums on cassette. I believe this was his first full-length album. I have download codes if anybody wants to try them, but yeah, it's one of my lower-ranked albums for him. I mean, it's a good album. It's his folkiest album. I feel like he's a little bit less pissy. I mean, he has his moments on this, but I really like pissed off Derek Zanetti. What can I say? So this is a unique rarity here. So I randomly got a Facebook message from him. Mind you, I don't know him personally. I've met him once at a concert. But, I just follow him on Facebook, and he randomly sent me a message saying that he had a small number of these cassettes that he was selling. I don't think he released this music in any other format, but this is kind of like a experimental sound collage, just a bunch of random clips and noises in between them. It's pretty neat, actually. If I remember correctly, it's actually the same music on both sides. Looks like we actually have a little insert. Yeah, the pieces of music found on this tape are excerpts from show tunes and sitcoms I made with my mind. These songs are written in my bedroom. These tapes are dubbed in a dining room that looks like an aviary arranged by a fox. And I'm not going to take this paper out because there's nothing on the back of it, but I will show you the 360 nonetheless. It's a pretty neat little thing. I like it. Alright, next up, this is probably my personal favorite of his. For the most part, I feel like as his albums go on, like his most recent tends to be his best, with the exception of his very most recent, actually. But so yeah, this is his second most recent album and my personal favorite. This Land Is Your Landfill. I do have this on vinyl, and I think I do kind of prefer the vinyl, honestly, but it's still fun to have on cassette. Color's really cool. And here's our little paper. Next up, we have Me Without You's Pale Horses. If I remember correctly, this is their second to last album. And I feel like Me Without You went through a long period of time where it was like, you know, they're constantly on the verge of breaking up, and then they finally did. But I rather like the print on the back of this cassette. That's pretty cool. I think I actually have a few download cards for this album, so you can try that out. And yeah, not much to the artwork too, but I mean, it is cool artwork. I mean, I rather like that picture up there, you know. Of course, I got the deluxe vinyl of it, so I got all of the artwork for it. But I mean, if you just had this little cassette, I mean, I think I'd be pretty happy with that little bit of artwork that I have. So of all the cassettes that I have on multiple formats, this is the one that I feel like really benefits the most from being on a cassette. And that would be Sufjan Stevens' Carrie and Lowell. So this is like his most stripped down album. And I kind of feel like it's meant to have like kind of a bit of an aged feel to it. It kind of feels like an artifact. And I just really like how, you know, that really gets emphasized and, you know, kind of naturally ages quicker on a cassette. So I do really enjoy this one. I think I have more cassettes from Sufjan Stevens than any other artist, but in general, I probably have more Sufjan Stevens music than most artists at the very least. Next one, I was somewhat disappointed on this, at least getting it on cassette. I might eventually get on vinyl or CD. I don't know if it was ever released on CD. I know it was released on vinyl, but got Sufjan Stevens' The Greatest Gift mixtape, outtakes, remix, and demos from Carrie and Lowell. So, you know, I saw that mixtape word in it, so, you know, I kind of felt like it'd be appropriate to get on cassette, but it doesn't really have what I'd say is a mixtape feel to it. With that said, I mean, all these B-sides and alternate versions, they're pretty strong, and honestly, lately I've been finding myself listening to this more often than the original Carrie and Lowell album, but there's all the download information if you'd like to try it. And here's our insert. So this is the only what I call cassette singles. Nose itch there. I actually was trying to get one with a pre-order. Like, I think they were supposed to throw them in for free with a pre-order, but like the pre-order kept on messing up for me. So I was just like, fuck it, I'll just get it somewhere else then. So I missed out on one that I was really wanting. But from Sufjan Stevens, we have Tanya Harding in D major and an E flat major. Two different versions of the same song. Written about Tanya Harding, the Olympic figure skater, whose husband hired somebody to club her rival. I miss my words a lot, I apologize for that. And she knew about it, so she became a very controversial figure. I really like that picture, though. That's really nice, isn't it? And lastly, I did not pick this up on vinyl, or at least not yet. Maybe I will, but I do have it on cassette. We got Stranger Things Volume 4 soundtrack. I got all the others on vinyl. I opted to get this on cassette. You know, like I said, I kind of like these things on cassette to begin with, but, you know, cassettes played a role in Stranger Things Season 4, so I felt like that was kind of appropriate. But some noteworthy songs that I particularly enjoy is Beach Boys' version of California Dreaming, Psycho Killer by the Talking Heads, of course. Running Up That Hill is on here. There's also a remix of Separate Ways, Worlds Apart Journey. See, of course, the Metallica song Master of Puppets is on here. A lot of cool, fun things. And of course, on these soundtrack type deals, you know, there's usually a mix of music that I enjoy and music that I don't necessarily enjoy, but it's just kind of fun to, you know, relive that part of your favorite movies and series, even if you don't necessarily enjoy all that music, just kind of, you know, recalling the scenes, that sort of fun shit, you know. So yeah, that's all of the cassettes that I have, and this concludes the series. I am done. I have no idea what I'm going to do with my extra time now. But yeah, because I'm recording these in advance, I have no idea what I got coming up in the future, so I'll have fun with that. See you in my next video.